To me personally, this is a hard scenario for me to decide on. Whether or not I'd come forth and alert the authorities of who robbed the bank, or would I stay in the shadows and allow for the orphanage to benefit off this donation greatly? With myself being more of an act-utilitarianist, meaning that I deem something to be moral by whether or not it produces the best possible result depending on the specific situation at hand. I would most likely remain hidden and not come forth with the identity of the robber to the authorities. The reasoning behind this is I feel as if the orphanage would benefit greatly off of this and would allow for them to buy food, new clothes, supplies, and many other necessities that are important to a child's development at such a young age. This one donation to the orphanage may result in a complete life-altering change for the kids. Personally, I feel as if the people who are holding their money in the bank may not be as in such dire need. So solemnly, kind of based off this theory, I would not come forth with the money and would not allow for the robber's identity to come forth. I would allow for the orphanage to benefit off this donation. I, more or less, justify my actions by whether or not I am making it in order to create the best situation. In this case, the money had been stolen from the bank and bestowed upon the poor. This money would ultimately change the lives of the kids in the orphanage.
Typically, I consider myself a moral relativist, meaning that I believe the context of the situation plays a large role in determining the moral action in a given situation. However, in this scenario, I tend to agree more with Kant and Aquinas in that I do not believe that the ends justify the means. Although the outcome and intention are positive, I do not feel that they justify stealing from the bank. I believe that the bank should be able to make its own financial decisions. I do understand that this would lead to less total happiness. However, I believe that this happiness is not enough to justify the means in which it was produced.
Personally, to me, this scenario is not that hard to make the correct decision as some people may think it is, and it all comes down to the type of person that you are. I see myself as a utilitarian, meaning I want the positive effect for the majority of individuals despite whether it is the moral right thing to do. In this situation, a utilitarian would not tell the authorities, letting the orphanage receive the money to provide the basic needs for the less fortunate children. Whether or not it is the immoral thing to not tell authorities, I would personally rather the majority benefit rather than majority not benefiting. I could also not live with the guilt knowing I basically took away from innocent children just for the sake of a moral act.